Welcome back to the Tutoring Pros channel. In this video, we're going to be going over SAT style questions for system of equations. System of equations is one of the most important topics for the SAT because it shows up so often, whether it's in the form of a word problem, in the form of two equations right next to each other like you see here. It's one of the topics that you're going to see the most, and if you want a good score on the math portion, you have to know how to do this. So for number one, we're going to solve this using the substitution method. The way that we do that is we need to get one of the variables by itself first and then plug it into the other equation. What we're going to do first is we're going to get x by itself in the equation on top. The way that we do that is we're going to add y to both sides in order to move it to the right side of the equation. When we add y to both sides, we're going to end up with x equals y plus 3. Now that we have an equation for x, we're going to plug this in for x in the other equation. We have 7, and then instead of x, we're going to plug in what x is equal to, which is y plus 3. So 7 times y plus 3 minus y equals negative 3. Now we're going from an equation with two different variables to an equation with one variable, and now we can solve for y. The first step here is to distribute the 7 inside the parentheses. That's going to give us 7y plus 21 minus y equals negative 3. Next, we need to combine like terms. 7y and negative y go together. 7y minus y is 6y plus 21 equals negative 3. Next, we need to subtract 21 on both sides. This is in order to get y by itself. So we're going to have 6y equals negative 3 minus 21 is negative 24. And then the last step to get y by itself is to divide each side by 6. And we end up with y equals negative 24 divided by 6 is negative 4. So now we have that y equals negative 4. That's the first part of our answer. The answer to a system of equations is an ordered pair, which means that we need an x value and a y value. We have our y value already, and now we can plug it into this equation for x to figure out what the x would be. So we know that x equals y plus 3, and we know that y is negative 4. So we'll plug in y, negative 4 for y, and we'll get x equals negative 4 plus 3, which gives us that x equals negative 1. So we have the answer that x equals negative 1 and y equals negative 4. Now we're done with question number 1. For question number 2, we're going to have the same exact approach. We need to get one of the variables by itself and then plug it into the other equation so that we can solve for it. We're going to end up getting y by itself in the equation in the bottom. The first step is to add 2x to both sides, and we're going to end up with negative 2y equals positive 2x plus 10. The next step is to divide each side by negative 2. We're going to divide everything by negative 2, and this is going to give us y equals negative x minus 5. Now we have an equation for y. We're going to plug this into the other equation and solve for x. The other equation is 4x minus y. Instead of y, we're going to plug in what y is equal to. Now this part's really important. Since we're plugging in two terms for y, we have to make sure we write it inside of the parentheses. So negative x minus 5 and then equals 20. The reason why we do this is because the negative on the outside of the parentheses needs to be distributed to both terms. Once we distribute the negative, we're going to have 4x plus x plus 5 equals 20. And now we need to combine like terms. 4x plus x is 5x plus 5 equals 20. Now we need to subtract 5 on both sides, and we'll have 5x equals 15. And if we divide both sides by 5, we'll have x equals 3. Remember, we're not done here. In order to solve a system of equations, we need to have an x value and a y value. For x, we got 3. And now we need to plug this into the equation that we have for y. We're going to have y equals negative 3 minus 5. Negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8. And now we have our answer that x equals 3 and y equals negative 8. If you learned something new in this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you're looking for one-on-one tutoring, check out the link in the description. I'll see you in the next one.